Okay, hello everybody. Today's date is October 26th, 2021, and my name is Leslie Williams. Now, this video is being made today in order to dump some information concerning the continued crimes of gang stalking. And I strongly suggest that I'm going to give you a minute to get up and go get a pen and piece of paper. That minute starts right now. That way you don't have to come back and watch the entire video in case something sticks out with you in this video. And you can just refer back to the notations that you make and be able to then research it at that time without having to come back and watch the video. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a minute starting right now, actually. Alright, my name is Leslie Williams. I live in San Diego, California. I live in the community of La Jolla, which is located in San Diego County. I'm a target victim and activist concerning the continued crimes that are known as gang stalking. I apologize if I seem a teeny bit distracted, but I'm trying to get a few things done while I'm talking to you. Now, gang stalking is a program. It's not stalking by gangs. And so when you research this crime, I strongly suggest for people who want to research this crime so they can get to a more comprehensive understanding of it without having to do massive exhaustive research, is for you to, when you run across a gang stalking victim's exposures, who has a lot of experience and educated knowledge, years and years of it, you're going to be able to get a more comprehensive, immediate understanding concerning what's going on in this crime. Because trust me when I say, this crime is, this crime is so massive in its size, and it's so intrusive and exacting and methodical in its implementation. It would take a lot for you to be able to get down to the nitty gritty of it just by researching it without a educated, experienced gang stalking victim steering you into specific directions. There's a lot of mis and disinformation online concerning this crime, and it's very, since there's so much involved in this crime, it would take you a lot of research to be able to start getting the in-depth knowledge you need pertaining to each description, so you can see how each method and description is part of the overall program. So that should have gave you more than enough time to go get a pen and piece of paper. Now, you should also understand that one of the biggest aspects of this crime, which is done with the following description you're about ready to hear in a minute, it's done for multiple motivations. Massive insurance fraud schemes, illegal probate control schemes, and much more. So when you hear me make this follow-up description, which I'm going to be doing here in a second, you need to understand that it's done for multiple reasons, including discrediting the gang stalking victim on paper. So that paper, that absolutely includes doctor reports, even doctors from private practices, hospitals, medical clinics, medical centers, and police reports. Okay, even social services reports can be falsified. So what you need to understand immediately about this crime is that there's got to be, think to yourself with common sense, but when you start researching this crime, you're going to be able to see it as well through critical thinking. There has to be a reason why tens of thousands of victims are all over the internet on a daily basis, on every online platform that you can think of, exposing this crime. And I'd say at least 98.5 of all these victims have never talked to each other. Yet they're all sharing the same story in general, because gang stalking is a program. So when you have a program that operates on a template of methods, tactics, and techniques against all victims, then you're going to see that the vast majority of the exposures of what gang stalking victims state they're enduring. Alright, hold on one second. I just realized something. Alright, hold on one second. Bear with me a second. Oh, sorry about this, folks. I didn't anticipate this interruption, so just bear with me a second. I had a phone charger fall and I had to pick it up. Alright, so anyways, see, when you're dealing with the program, just like when you go into any Little Caesars pizza and you say, I want a pizza with pepperoni, bacon, sausage, and Italian, and green peppers, well, that means that you're getting a pizza that's being made in a specific way based on what's available concerning toppings and pizza sizes that are available. That's because it's a set template of what's being offered and what you're allowed to have. Same thing with gang stalking. Gang stalking is a program that operates by and through, but not limited to, a template of methods, tactics, techniques, cooperating covert relationships between the perpetrators, and protected by secrecy and the criminal use of classification, okay, and much more. So it's basically a program that's implemented all over the United States. Gang stalking is an epidemic in America. It's going on in every neighborhood, town, city, county, and state. It's going on in every type of environment that you can think of, literally. Okay, so I wanted to throw that information out there. So when you hear me make statements like that, when you hear a educated, experienced gang stalker victim make a statement like that, what we're trying to do is entice you to stay with our exposures, because again, you're going to get a more comprehensive understanding about what's really going on from them, which will save you a lot of time in research. Okay. Now, hold on just one more second. Let me grab something here, and I apologize for the interruption. Stay with me. Don't go nowhere. Oh, lordy. I'm trying to get my glasses here so I can see something here real fast. All right, so now that description I was referring to about a minute and a half ago is about the intentional criminal false diagnoses of gang stalking victims done through doctors. Hospitals, medical centers, medical clinics, and even private practice doctors can be brought on board in this campaign. And that is done for multiple reasons. I mentioned illegal probate control schemes and many other motivations. Because if they can discredit you on paper, if you go to then sue anybody, what they'll then turn around and do is use the courts and try and make it appear that you're mentally ill somehow, or they'll claim, well, we gotta, what you're saying sounds possibly from the symptoms of a mental illness, so what we'll do is we'll petition your mental and or medical health records to see if there's anything there that would suggest that you have a mental illness, and if we find anything, then we'll get you the help you need. That's literally how bad gang stalking is. It's nothing but organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level, working together as an up and operating nationwide organized crime syndicate operating through the system. And that absolutely includes courts, judges, prosecutors, public defenders, state attorney general's offices, police at the federal, state, and local level, and much more. So when a gang stalking victim wants to do a data dump, hold on one second. So when a gang stalking victim wants to do a data dump on the internet, and they want to expose many things that they know about gang stalking, and they might even feel compelled to want to, okay, hold on one more second. Sorry about the interruptions, bear with me. And they might even, they might want to share things that have and or are happening to them. If they state that they are directly happening to them, make no mistake about it, these satanic little mass murdering, human trafficking, raping animals will look for any and all normal appearing excuses to claim that they know that video's online. So they can then turn around and use your statements in it against you in court after a staged event, anywhere. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do is ask you and tell you, when you hear my statements in this video and in any of my other videos, you can say to yourself, who is it possibly that this victim can be talking about? Do you understand? Now, my fellow American citizens, you should also know it's becoming increasingly reported that corporations have always been massively implicated in being covert colluding partners with these satanic rats at the federal, state, and local level. And you should also know that the military is also massively implicated in this crime as well, including the DOD, the DIA, the NSA, the CIA, the DHS, and the FBI. So all right, now let me put on some earphones here, because as soon as I started making this video, I got airplane noise, fire truck sirens, police sirens going on. Oh, and by the way, you can Google those statements to gang stalking. Hold on one second. Now, all right, bear with me one more second, because I'm getting ready to eat here. I do apologize for these interruptions, I really do. But sometimes I can only make a video when I'm in the middle of doing things while I'm stationary. So if you can just stay with me and trust me, you'll be glad you did. First thing I want to direct you to do, remember the statements I've made so far, because that's pertinent for you to always remember. Okay. Now, all right, where was I segueing into? Excuse me. All right. Now, so consider this. When you do your research, you're going to discover that corporations are heavily implicated in this crime. So, when you go out and about in the community over the next month or the next week or two, okay, take a look at what's in your neighborhood. What do we generally see when we go out and about in our communities? Well, we generally see post offices. Hold on. We see post offices, banks, movie theaters, grocery stores, coffee shops, what else? Places like, excuse me, places like CBS, just any place that you see that when you go out and about in the community, any place you see and any type of business you see, Google it the hell out of it to gang stalking, especially these big franchise corporations that we are all aware of. Anybody at any time can type in the following to gang stalking: Starbucks, Kroger's and Rouse Grocery Store. They're owned by the same company. Wait a minute, hold it. Okay. Oh, hold on. Oh man, I'm having a big problem with my ear right now. Okay, so Kroger's owns Rouse Grocery Stores, and they're a big grocery store chain. Vons and Albertsons owns Vons. They're a big grocery store chain. Starbucks, okay. Any major chain fast food restaurant, Google the hell out of them to gang stalking. Especially to these 5 states: Michigan, Tennessee, California, New York, Florida, and Texas. Now, make no mistake about it, gang stalking is reported to be going on in every state, county, city, town, and neighborhood in the United States. Oh, sorry about that. I had to get up to get something. In the United States, and when you research post offices, banks, grocery stores, movie theaters, restaurants, you name it. Just Google it. Homeless shelters, churches, charities, the police, fire department, ambulance services, hospitals, medical clinics, medical centers. Google the hell out about Google everything to gang stalking, baby. Just do it. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is because do you really believe that Google and even YouTube is going to generate the amount of Google-generated responses to you if nothing's going on? Now, you should also research at Google and YouTube gang stalking and sensitization method, the direct conversation method, and dark neural linguistic programming, which is called DNLP. You should also research the following to gang stalking: remote neural monitoring, the microwave hearing effect, the silent sound spread spectrum, okay, ultrasonic sound bone conduction torture, okay, directed energy weapons torture, and electromagnetic weapons torture to gang stalking. Okay, now I threw these tidbits of information out there because consider this: we all know as human beings, go to Google and type in targeted individuals and gang stalking. Okay, the FBI, the CIA, the DOD, the DHS, okay, Neighborhood Watch, the FBI, the NSA, the DIA. Now, I'm going to conclude those types of statements right there with this last statement. When you see the amount of generated responses you get, do you really believe that that's going to be an accident? So you're going to be able to deduce with common sense that there's obviously something going on if all these different places are massively, heavily implicated. Because remember, at least 98.5% of all victims have never talked to each other. Okay, and you should also research doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors, regular doctors, nurses, hospitals, medical clinics, medical centers, and hospital staff in gang stalking. Now, okay, so I think when you do this research, please excuse me for chewing. I do apologize. This video has probably got the most interruptions I've ever had in any video I've ever made, but I'm still going to publish it. What should we look at also when we look at corporations? Well, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, These are all corporations. So are cell phone companies. Okay? Cell phone companies are corporations as well. So what do you think it is when we go to Google? Oh, by the way, you should also research electronic stores and gang stalking. You know, the big franchise electronic stores to gang stalking as well. Okay? And then ask yourself, what position of authority do you think has the ability to covertly collude with all these types of descriptions covertly in order to get each place to do what they want that place to do against the victim when the victim visits their establishment? Do you really believe that some dumbass low-life street punk has got the ability to covertly collude with the post office or a UPS, okay, or FedEx, or a cell phone company, okay, or a hospital or medical clinic, okay? Do you really believe that some dumbass low-life street punk has got the ability to go in and say, we want you to do this against this victim when you go into a library? Of course not. Grocery stores and all the other descriptions I've stated. No low-life street punk has got the ability to go into and have the influence to go into any place that the victim goes into to get that place to participate in the gang stalking against the victim in that place. The only position that's got the ability to do that is federal, state, and local law enforcement. Okay? And the only entity that's big enough to perpetrate a huge, big, gigantic criminal expedition crime like this is the United States government, the United States military, and all USA intelligence agencies. Again, working together with state, county, and local governments and state, county, and local police. By the way, you should also go to Google and type in fusion centers and gang stalking. See, even though gang stalking is extremely intrusive, and their crime is very methodically perpetrated in exacting ways, and when you really get to a good level of educated knowledge concerning this crime, you will absolutely already have it settled in your mind and heart, okay, that the only entity that's got the ability to torture tens of thousands, it's actually hundreds of thousands, that are enduring this crime right now. On any date you watch this video, tens of thousands of those are online reporting it. Okay? Alright? Now, let's say if you're a gang stalking victim and you're being hit with electromagnetic weapons, directed energy weapons, ultrasonic sound bone conduction torture, scalar weapons, the microwave hearing effect, infrasound, and other types of, trust me, you'll run across the other remote neural monitoring. Hold on. You're going to run across a whole bunch of different identified technologies that these little satanic rats can perpetrate against the human brain and biological system from a remote distance. By the way, you should also research holosonics and gang stalking, the criminal use of holosonics and gang stalking. So, now, here's another tidbit for you to listen to and pay attention to closely. Why is it that tens of thousands of American gang stalking victims and victims in other countries as well are saying that they're being tortured with electromagnetic weapons in their own friggin' home, including while they're sleeping? Okay? How do they know what bedroom the victim's in? Well, you can go to Google and research how it's widely reported that these little satanic rats have about 19 different identified platforms of perpetration, including, but not obviously not limited to, renting homes, apartments, condos, even motel rooms around the victim, and getting neighbors to assist in this type of sick, satanic, mass murdering, total insanity. And then always remember this. Not one case is being investigated. Not one case. Not one identified perpetrator has ever been jailed. That right there in itself should immediately tell you that this is a crime the government's perpetrating. The government ain't going to prosecute itself. Alright? So, if they can subject you to the technologies connected to gang stalking, also research psychotronics, to gang stalking, in your home and along your route, and also subject you to massive community-based harassment, which is where the community members are used to apply gang stalking techniques against you and mostly around you, concerning you, then it's obviously apparent that you're being legally tracked. Welcome to the stalking of gang stalking. Hold on one second. A lot of helicopters been going round and round and around today, right around this area. I don't know what's going on. Alright, so anyways. Now, so you got tens of thousands of victims openly stating on every online platform, on the internet, to this date, no matter what day you watch this video, are stating they're being tortured in their own homes with the aforementioned technologies that I described connected to gang stalking crimes. Now, you're going to see a lot of reports about how gang stalking victims are stating they're being even stalked to motel rooms. When the victim tries to run from their home, they might go and run a motel room trying to escape the sick satanic shit that's torturing them, the electromagnetic weapons and the other types of identified technologies that I've stated. They'll literally stalk you to that motel room. Okay? Alright? So, how is it they're able to find out what motel room you're in? Oh, and by the way, always remember this. Aaron Alexis, the Navy Yard shooter, tried to rent 2 or 3 different motel rooms in one night and was gang stalked to all 3. Now, when you extensively research Aaron Alexis, this is my ELF weapon, mass shootings, Navy Yard shooter, and you do extensive research into him, you're gonna research all descriptions that any and all news outlets, state that he stated he was enduring and what was reported about what he stated he was enduring. Research all of them to gang stalking. Okay? Oh, absolutely. So, if they can stalk you along your routes, if they can stalk you to your fucking home, if they stalk you to a motel room, do you honestly think they won't stalk you to a wooded area after they make you homeless intentionally? Right? Now, so consider this. The 19 different types of, there's around 19 identified types of modes of operation that these satanic rats, these mass murdering filthy animals are using to subject gang stalking victims to all the different types of technologies that I've stated in this video so far, right? But what you gotta understand though is that say if you got a victim who they made homeless and it's a female, right? And the victim over time starts to consciously and even unconsciously and even subconsciously realize as a result of how the program has massively escalated into a non-stop campaign of endless sadistic torture. Okay, they know they know how educated that victim is because they watch every single thing you do online, on your own phone, on your own computer, on any library computer, anywhere. Okay? No matter where you use a computer at, if you're a gang stalking victim, these sick satanic rats are monitoring everything you do. By the way, check this out. I just subscribed to a podcast media site 2 days ago at a grocery store I'm being heavily gang stalked at. And I created an account, made the payment, okay? Used one of my common passwords. Today I tried to bring it up and it was saying my password was wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you one name of that app, okay, in case they never allow me to get back into it through my phones and even my computer. Excuse me. Media. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Well, that's actually one. It's a three-name. It's got 3 names in the app title. So let's just say, Math Media. Okay. Now, so 2 days ago when I set this account up, I used a very common username that I'm completely aware of and would never forget, and a completely common password. Well, today when I'm at a wooded area, I opened up the app and tried to sign in, and it wouldn't let me. Then I wasn't allowed to reset the password. So we're gonna see. So what they did was, it appears that it's them doing it because of other things I'm noticing that they're doing with my phone. And trust me on that. If I was to disclose it, you'd understand. But check this out. With gang stalking perpetrators, okay, see what you're doing and say, okay, well, let's get the bitch to go through her money by signing on to just, because it's a app you got to pay for in order to listen to older podcasts, right? So let's let her download the app. Let's let her pay for the service, and then let's let her sign in for it and everything. And then we'll prevent her from being able to sign in so she can listen to the podcast. Do you honestly believe that that's not something these sick, filthy whores wouldn't do? Okay? So just extensively research cyber hacking, cyber manipulation, cell phone hacking, cell phone jamming, cell phone manipulation, and much more. And I think you're going to be able to say that you don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to make up some imaginary thing that I'm enduring, and then state I'm enduring it. Human beings don't, like I'd say at least 98.9% of the time, human beings don't operate that way. I think the only type of people that would operate that way would be somebody who's trying to falsely accuse somebody or some place of something so they can sue them. But do you really think I'm going to be able to sue anybody? Who would I sue for something like that just because I can't reset a password? I mean, come on. Well, they know you can't prove that they're sabotaging it. So keep that in mind. Hold on one second. Now, these little filthy whores, how do you think they're able to target tens and tens of thousands of victims with electromagnetic weapons, directed energy weapons, and ultrasonic sound bone conduction torture while the victims are in their home each day? I see it exposed on the internet every single day, nonstop. I can get on Twitter for less than 5 minutes and see 30 posts about it from 30 separate accounts. Okay, it's the biggest crime reported online. Right? So how are these sick satanic rats able to determine what room you're in your home in order to hit you in the kitchen, the bathroom, while you're in bed, while you're sitting on your couch in your living room, as you're walking through the hallway? Because they're already in, it's reported because they're already in neighboring houses, condos, okay, apartments, and so on. And plus, you also consider drones and helicopters and planes are also being widely reported to be used in this crime. You should also know that if the victim has any implants in them, Google the hell out of that. There's books about this shit, and I'm talking about hundreds of books written about this shit concerning implants, because a lot of victims are being used for non-consensual human experimentation, and biomedical implants are being put in them. This is all over the internet, so it doesn't matter if you believe what I'm saying right now or not. Just Google the hell out of it, baby cakes, because you're going to see thousands of posts concerning it. There's even books written about it. It's even been discussed on national radio shows, okay? Now, so when you look at, you say to yourself, how can they successfully torture tens of thousands of people in multiple rooms of their homes, and even every room in their home, unless they're able to determine where you're at? So research see-through wall radar, thermal imaging, radar guns, and many other ways. There are hidden cameras in your home. Just research everything I'm stating, and then you'll be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So if they make you homeless, then the world is basically your home. You can choose to try and pick any spot that you can. Okay, by the way, I'm not involved in any illegal activities, so I want you to know the only thing I do illegal is illegal lodging, but I'm forced to do it because this crime intention made me homeless, and the police have denied my right to make a police report or investigate me being gang stalked on over 26 occasions in 11 years. I mean, they literally told me no right to my face, even when I played them evidence, indisputable evidence to their face. Okay, so check this out. So say if you've been made homeless, and since they got about at least 19 different reported modes of operation concerning how they can purpose and affect these technologies on your brain and biological systems, when you're homeless, you're not exactly trapped within the parameter of your home. So say if you go into a place that they would consider to be a dead zone, very hard for them to target you. Say if one of the places, one of the wooded areas you picked was very convenient for them because they already had perpetrators in the neighborhood, possibly targeting other victims in the neighborhood. Because remember, this is an epidemic in America. So when you got these big apartments and condos in America, all over your community, you got to remember these perpetrators are already in there, and there's an extreme likelihood they're already targeting other people, whether those people are suffering the community-based gang stalking yet or not. Now, so say if the victim moves into an area where there's houses across the street, there are houses on the hill behind the victim, And there's a road that these 6 satanic whores can pull up in trucks and vans, because a lot of their technology is also reported to be mobile. You should also know cell phone towers and radio towers are also widely reported to be a massive conduit for this crime. Well, there's 3 big gigantic radio towers in less than 1/8 of a mile where I'm at right now, in direct physical proximity of the spot I'm at. Literally. 2 of them are directly parallel to me, and the other one is directly parallel to me. I got condos and houses on both sides all around me. On all 4 sides. Okay? So if you were to try and pick an area where the foliage could possibly assist in interrupting it, because you got to remember something about bushes and trees and so on. The foliage on trees and bushes emit their own photoelectrical chemical processes. Well, all their technology is microwave and scalar waves, and so other live organisms can interfere with the perpetration of this sick technology that these wild whores are using. So if you go into an area that's more of a dead zone concerning where you're currently at right now, do you honestly think that they would not stage events between you and whoever in order to flush you out of that area? Because consider this. They made me homeless. They flushed me out of my home. And they committed a federal offense to do that. They literally stole my rent right out of the mail that was mailed, certified mail return receipt through the United States Postal Service, and the rent was paid through a postal money order. I checked that money order and that track and confirmed for 7 straight full months after it was stolen, and it was still shown that it hadn't been delivered. That's a federal offense. Absolutely. Now, so once they make you homeless, all they do is track you to a wooded area and then prop up their 6 satanic shit around you. So if you move into a spot, into an area, into location, that makes it maybe harder for trucks to pull in. Okay? For vans to pull in. For drones to be used on a frequent basis, if they are currently being used on a frequent or intermittent basis. Do you think they wouldn't stage an event to get you the hell out? Okay, one of the biggest things going on in this crime right now. Hold on, I gotta see if I went over the 33-minute mark. Alright, so I'm approaching it. So I'm gonna end this video here in a couple of seconds. We're gonna see if that happens to me. Because I'm getting ready to move here in the next 7 days. Alright? And I'm gonna be moving to multiple spots. Hold on. So pay attention to this YouTube account on a massive scale. So understand this and know this. All gang stalking predictions and statements I have ever made on all online platforms, emails, tweets on Twitter, audio files, video files, YouTube videos, and Periscope videos are an extreme emergency permanent effect. That means if they do anything that I've ever discussed and or exposed, or any other victim is exposed that they've endured, it will be directly connected to gang stalking. Okay? Have a good day, everybody, and stay tuned to this account.